Hey, welcome back to the channel. My name's John. Today is day 62 of my 2-month Fasted-Thenics series. It's March 4th, Wednesday. It's about 10 o'clock in the morning. I'm on the road heading back home. I'm going to go over the numbers so I don't forget that. 174.9 on the scale this morning, a little bit before 4 a.m. Blood pressure 118/69. Blood sugar 61 milligrams per deciliter, and ketones were 5.7 millimoles per liter. So I had to get up really early. I only got about 4 hours sleep. The DexaFit facility is in Atlanta, Georgia, which is about 4 hours away from me. So I did try to get the workout sessions yesterday done earlier in the day. And by the way, I hope this microphone is minimizing some of the road noise, because right now I feel like I'm having to really almost yell just with the level of road noise. But anyway, so I had a DEXA scan done and also a Fit 3D body scan done as well. So the DEXA scan is off the top of my head, it's low-level radiation. You lay on a table, basically an arm slowly slides over you as they scan your body with that and generate a very detailed picture of your body composition. They are able to measure pretty precisely your muscle mass, bone mass, and fat mass. They're able to actually bifurcate you, separate you in half, and compare limbs, left arm to right arm, that kind of thing. Separate out the weight by body part. I know there's limits to that. I didn't memorize the whole report, but so again, this morning on my scale, a little bit before 4 a.m., I weighed 174.9 pounds. The DEXA scan, I was wearing a pair of jeans, my skivvies, and a t-shirt and a pair of socks. And it weighed me at 176.2. One other thing was they had me take my ring off, so that's one other variance. So what I've decided to do is I'm going to go without drinking anything. I was going to get some coffee on the way back, but I'm going to hold off and then re-weigh myself when I get home on the scale. And also I'm going to take the clothes that I'm wearing and weigh that as well. So I'll have to do a couple of measurements, because like in order to be exact, I'm going to have to do something with the ring as well, measure with the ring and without the ring, and come up with the difference there so that I can compare that number. Next time when I come, I'm certainly going to wear less clothes, some shorts or something like that, so that I'm not making the technician feel uncomfortable wanting to basically strip down nude. Now the other scan, the Fit 3D, the Fit 3D body scan, that is external measurements. So what you do there, you actually strip down almost nude. They close you in a room so you're by yourself. So I just had my underwear on, and you stand on a platform that rotates. You basically put your hands on a couple of poles that extend from the platform to kind of stabilize yourself, and then you hold buttons on each one of those. The platform rotates as it takes a ridiculous number of photographs, and then it stitches all of that information together and builds a 3D model of your body. Apparently, people are finding that really useful. It's much less expensive. I was able to get a Groupon. Normally, I think one of those is close to $50, and I was able to get a Groupon where I was able to pay for 2 of those scans for about $50. So that breaks it out to about $25 a piece. Whereas the DEXA scan, the options there here in Atlanta were $150 for one scan, and you can choose. They've got a DEXA scan available, VO2 max. They do resting metabolic rate, test, and there's one other test, I believe. It's not coming to mind, but if I think of it later, I'll pop that in. So today I just did the DEXA scan, and I did the Fit 3D body scan. When I come back at the end of my next 2-month fast, which will be just shy of Memorial Day in May, I'll do the same thing. I'll do the DEXA scan, and I'll do the Fit 3D body scan. Like I said, I'll wear less clothes, probably a pair of shorts, so that I can take my t-shirt off and just wear that. If the technician's okay with it, I'll even take the shorts off. It just makes the information more comparable to my home scale. So anyway, so when I get home, I'm going to do a couple things. I'm going to basically wear what I was wearing when I laid on the DEXA scan table and take a couple of weight measurements. Then I'm going to take the clothes that I was wearing and weigh those on like a shipping scale or something like that, so that I can get the weight of the clothing. I'll also go ahead and weigh myself again nude on my Withing scale, and that way, I'm able to compare some of these things and just kind of see what's what, how things pan out. They say that the Fit 3D body scan is supposed to be pretty close to the DEXA scan as far as weight. Now, I don't believe it breaks down in terms of body composition, but it's pretty obvious, I think, when you look at the 3D model. It's I don't know, it's like they vacuum sealed you in a solid color plastic. You get that kind of a model of yourself. So if you're putting on a considerable amount of weight, you're comparing, say, a baseline scan to a current scan where you've put on weight or lost weight, you should be able to tell if you're putting it on or losing it. You might not necessarily be able to see some of the more precise data that you would with the DEXA scan, but obviously I haven't done a lot of research on this. I did do some reading up on it a couple of years ago, and then when I was looking around to see where I was going to go get the DEXA scan done, I was considering a place over in Raleigh, North Carolina, and then this one here in Atlanta. So I did do a little bit of reading there, but I didn't go outside of the website to look for opinions that might be opposite of obviously sales jargon and ad speak. So anyway, I got that done this morning. I also took some footage yesterday of my workouts and just me walking on the treadmill. So I'm gonna run that in the background in the later video that I'm gonna take today, kind of to talk behind instead of the normal view of me on the couch. I figured, once before the series is over, would be kind of good for you guys to see that, I'm actually getting those workouts done, and this is what I am doing. Maybe it'll generate a few questions. I'm not any kind of a fitness guru. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a medical researcher, or I'm just a regular Joe. I weighed close to 300 pounds 10 years ago, and I've tried multiple things, just kind of whittling away at it, just keeping a persistent attack on my weight and health, and trying to fix some of these numbers. This fast thing that I've been getting into the last 3 or 4 years has kind of plateaued here this last year. Last summer I did a 2-month fast. I did 4 weeks of just water, and then I finished that out with bone broth and an electrolyte supplement. This year I'm taking it a step further. I'm trying to maintain muscle mass and also testosterone levels, trying to keep my electrolyte levels up as well. Hopefully by the end of this, when I get the lab work back, the results back from the blood that was drawn yesterday, I'll be able to look at that and hopefully see a bunch of positive numbers. There was a lot of mistakes made last time, and I could list those out right now, but I don't want this video to go on too long. But I do want to talk about it in more depth in the future, but not during the series. The series is mainly to kind of here and there ramble on about what I'm doing, and hopefully, kind of build a little bit of trust as far as the kind of person I am and what I'm doing to modify my routines and my nutrition and fitness, and hopefully fix some of my issues that I've had over the past 10 years. And anyway, so this current fast, I'm trying to fix a couple of mistakes that I made during the first fast, and I'm already making a list for the next one. So I've got vacation starting on Friday. I get to break my fast there in Hawaii. I'm gonna eat. I'm not gonna eat healthy while I'm there. I'm not gonna try to gorge myself. I'm not gonna try to kill myself at the buffet or anything like that. But I am gonna indulge while I'm there. I'm gonna eat sushi. I'm gonna eat pasta. I'm gonna probably have pizza, a burger, some French fries, ice cream, shave ice, some donuts. I'm looking forward to that on Friday. Looks like I'm going to be breaking my fast with malasadas from Leonard's Bakery there in Honolulu. So I've got 3 weeks of basically my version of a standard American diet. So when I get back from Hawaii, I'll be eating what I normally eat. I generally eat one meal a day. I do a thing where I call it breakfast. I eat a can of sardines and a can of oysters usually for lunch, normally between 12 and 2 o'clock, and then I have dinner. I don't really count the early one as a full-blown meal because it's just 2 small cans. It's just to get protein in early in the day. If I don't do that, I break it up with a plate of some scrambled eggs, maybe some bacon or sausage, something like that. Just strict bacon and breakfast meats with eggs, a cup of coffee, that kind of thing, and that would count as like a first meal. So on those days, I guess I'm eating 2 meals, but then dinner. I'd say 50% of the time I'm eating a very large salad, huge salad. We bought massive bowls. It's probably an entire head of romaine lettuce, a handful of spinach, mix that together with oil, and sometimes I'll put a little bit of MCT oil in it, but it's usually olive oil or avocado oil. I sprinkle chia seed, flaxseed, and hemp seed in that, along with some peppers, olives, what else? Sometimes walnuts, occasionally some cranberries. Sometimes I sprinkle some apple cider vinegar in it. I kind of mix it up a little bit here and there. Jalapenos or banana peppers. I buy a number of fermented kind of relishes or condiment kinds of things, like an olive muffalata, a mix of pickled vegetables, things like that to put in it. So that's like half the time. Sometimes we'll go out to eat. That's probably like once every 2 weeks. That usually is either Mexican, Chinese food, or Japanese food. Sometimes Olive Garden. If I go to Olive Garden, my wife is eating pasta and I'm ordering a salmon dish. So I'm behaving myself. I call it sad only because whatever I'm eating generally kicks me out of keto. If I go to a Mexican restaurant, I'm eating the refried beans. I'm eating enchiladas, which is a flour tortilla. Or I'm eating chips and salsa, and that's all going to kick me out. If I eat sushi, it's going to kick me out. These aren't typically unhealthy foods, in my opinion. They are on the healthier side of a standard American diet. I'm not eating, loads of French fries or potato chips, or eating desserts with every meal or anything like that. I'm avoiding the breads. I don't put croutons in the salad. I eat my burgers without the bun. Which, by the way, being I'm on the road here, the billboards, they have been trolling me pretty much all morning. I've seen a Wendy's billboard where they're serving breakfast, and the billboard's just like, break fast. And I'm like 2 days away, so like it's out of, if I'm gonna eat fast food on the road, it's either Wendy's or Chick-fil-A 90% of the time. Occasionally, if we have kids with us, we'll go somewhere of their choosing. But if it's my choice, it's Chick-fil-A or Wendy's. There is an occasional chance where I go to some nostalgic places like Steak and Shake, which takes a little bit longer on the road, so I don't usually do that. And White Castle or Crystal. If there's a White Castle or a Crystal along the way, it's unhealthy, it's overindulgent, but I'm eating a whole sack of those. And I don't care what you think. I love them. And they're nowhere near me, so when I have the opportunity, I am usually indulging. And I've passed 2 Crystal restaurants this morning. So that, and on top of it, I am going without morning coffee today. It's 10:41 right now. Goodness. I haven't had, I took a couple of small sips of water before I started the video so that my throat wouldn't dry out as I began talking. And right now it's already starting to feel like I need to wrap this one up. So I probably should. I'm very prone to rambling on when I get going. But I do appreciate you watching the video. I'm not going to wrap the video up right now, just this particular clip while I'm on the road. When I get back home, like I said, I'm going to do some measurements as far as my weight to kind of suss out what we're looking at. Again, this morning at a little bit before 4, I weighed 174.9. It's day 62 of my 64-month fast. 64-month. I keep making these little blunders. 64-day fast. We're day 62. It's a 2-month fast, roughly. So my weight on my scale, 174.9. The DEXA scan was 176.2 with clothes on. And the Fit 3D body scan was 172.6, I believe. And I'll correct myself later if my memory's failing me. So I've got to log on to some new accounts that I need to set up in order to get access to some of the information, and I'll jot it down. We'll go over it real briefly once I get home. I'll let you guys take a look at my workout and my walk from yesterday, and I guess that's all I've got right now. We'll talk at you in a little bit. All right, so I'm back at home now. And I want to kind of recap the numbers from earlier today one more time. So the DEXA scan, I had jeans, my underwear, and a t-shirt on, and a pair of socks. So those numbers are going to be a little bit high. The weight was 176.2. Fat was 26.3 pounds. Fat percentage was 14.9. Muscle mass 142.7. And then visceral fat 1.04. So then the Fit 3D scan, that one I just had underwear on, 172.7 pounds, 37.9 pounds of fat, which resulted in 21.92 pounds, or 21.92% body fat, 134.8 pounds of muscle mass on that one. So when I got home, I took a few different measurements in order to figure out what the clothing weighed. So when I got home, before I went to use the bathroom, the weight was 174.2. Fat mass was 27.6. Fat percentage 15.84. And muscle mass 139.2. Obviously, it doesn't take visceral fat readings. So and then I'll give you the other number because I also took readings after I used the bathroom. So anyway, so if I take the clothing weight, which ended up being 1.7 pounds, and I took multiple readings and threw out the high and the low, and then subtracted the two identified numbers to get the 1.7 pounds of clothing. And then I take that and subtract it from the DEXA scan number. I get 0.3 of 1 pound off. So those two numbers, the DEXA scan and my home body composition scale, were only 0.3 of a pound off. The resulting number for DEXA would be 174.5, whereas the home scale was 174.2. And then I kind of translated that through. I'm assuming that the fat mass on the DEXA scan would remain the same, because I believe that it lumps, it calculates bone and then fat, and then everything else is kind of lumped in together as lean mass. So if that's the case, then fat mass would remain at 26.3, which would result in a 15.07% body fat, whereas my home scale got 15.84. That's pretty dang close to me between my home scale and this DEXA scan. So then after I used the bathroom, obviously I eliminated there and dropped another pound. So 173.3 was the bottom after I got home. So goodness, I didn't take that measurement until almost 2 o'clock today. So please give me a like for that effort. Give me a break. So not only am I fasting, but no, I didn't drink anything from like 10 o'clock last night until 2 o'clock today. I went without coffee altogether. The whole thing about tapering off of coffee and just giving that up until Hawaii, I have thrown that out the window. I drank a half a pot of coffee this afternoon. So that one's kind of going out the window. So I'll have to test that other idea that I had another time. So anyway, to finish those numbers, 173.3 pounds, 27.1 pounds of fat, which is 15.64% body fat, and then muscle mass 138.8. So anyway, there you have it. This is just obviously an N of 1. Me taking readings. Obviously, there's some variances there for a number of reasons, and but I would have to say just from this, and we'll have to compare this to, a couple, 3 months from now, end of May. I think it's going to be May 22nd. It's the Sunday right before Memorial Day. I will be finishing that fast on Memorial Day morning. So these guys are open the Sunday before. So I'm going to drive up there, or down there rather, and go ahead and redo the DEXA scan and redo the 3D, the Fit 3D scan as well. I'm not sure that I'm going to utilize these very often in the future. I'm probably going to just sporadically do it, maybe once every 5 years, something like that. My body, the body scale that I use here at the house does body composition. And it seems, from these numbers, it seems to be very, very close, and close enough for government work, as they say. So now, obviously, I wouldn't get a visceral number from my home scale, and there's some other information, and I'll save that for another video. I'll probably do a couple, one for just this information for the DEXA scan, and then another one for the Fit 3D scan. And then again, after the next fast, I'll hopefully learn a little bit more from that and be able to add to some of the thoughts as I make those videos. So only 0.3 of a pound off. That's pretty dang close. So bullet points for the next time I go and do this down in Atlanta, because goodness, this is definitely an investment in time and money. one, goodness, it's 4 hours away, so I could probably get a flight. But by the time I pay for the flight and sit around in the airport and get transported back and forth between the airport and where I need to be, it makes more sense to drive. And that's pretty painful considering that it takes 4 hours to get there. And Atlanta is a horrible city to drive in. Luckily, this is on the north side of Atlanta, so I didn't have to drive all the way through. But even still, I got rerouted twice just because of accidents. So maybe it was just an off day, but I doubt it. So next time, I'm gonna wear less clothing. It's May, end of May, so I should be able to wear like gym shorts, and hopefully the technician that's there won't be too skittish to let me strip down into my just underwear and do the scan that way. The other thing that I think I'm going to do is I'm going to bring my body weight scale with me. So I'll bring that with me, and I'll take my home readings there in their bathroom, and then do the DEXA scan, do the Fit 3D scan, and then we'll get closer numbers. Now, obviously, on my scale, I'll be able to take multiple readings. I usually do. I usually take at least 3, and mine's very, very precise. I'd say if I took 5 readings, at least 3 of those are going to be the exact same number to the 10th. Now, it actually captures to the 100th, but it only reveals the 10th. You see the other decimal when you're exporting the information, like in a CSV. So I don't know. I just found that kind of interesting, but it is highly accurate. It generally, I get on there the first time and it's a really low number, like by 0.2, and then I get on the second time and it's like whatever the number ends up being, a couple tenths higher, and then usually that duplicates. If it duplicates on the very next one, I just stop right there. If it's a different number, then I'll step on it one more time just to make sure, and then I throw out the high and the low, and that's usually what it ends up being. Just one other point before I get to the exercise part of it. The billboards, oh my goodness. Like after I finished capturing that video in the car, I drove by another Wendy's billboard. I drove by a Steak and Shake billboard. There was a Sonny's barbecue billboard. There was a Cracker Barrel. Oh my goodness. A lot of the places that I don't go to very often, but I drool when I think about eating there, especially Sonny's. Sonny's barbecue has been around in the Charlotte area for quite a while. They closed the one that we used to go to that used to be fairly close to our house. Now we have to drive all the way into Charlotte in order to get to it. But on the way to Florida, you pass quite a few different Sonny's barbecue restaurants, and I'm always drooling. We never have time to stop at those. But anyway, it just kind of fate that I've got 2 days left to go, and somebody is just teasing me, with the food. So anyway, I can't wait to eat. I appreciate you watching the video. If you've got any comments or questions, please leave those below. Give me a like for holding out until 2 o'clock today. That was it wasn't as hard as I'm making it out. Obviously I got up, I used the bathroom. I used the bathroom again before I left. I used the bathroom when I got down there, so I was completely on empty. Obviously, I wasn't completely on empty because I dropped another pound once I used the bathroom again once I got home. So, anyway, but it wasn't like a normal, like hold it till the another exit or something like that. It wasn't like torture. So anyway, having said all that, if you find the content interesting, if you think you're going to find the content in the future videos, I've discussed that a few times over previous videos. If you think you're going to find that kind of stuff interesting, please subscribe. If you know anybody that's interested in this kind of thing, health, longevity, fitness, nutrition, I'm not an expert on any of those things. I'm not a medical doctor. I'm not a researcher. None of those things. I'm just an average guy that has been whittling away at negative health issues and
weight. Obviously, I've been playing around with the weight part here this past year, but on purpose. So yes, definitely it's risky. You guys can let me know that if you'd like, but I already know. And I'm going to do it one more time. I've got vacation coming up here Friday. I'll be eating my first food, most likely to be between 8 and 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It'll be 3 to 5 p.m. in Hawaii. I'm going to eat a malasada from Leonard's Bakery and probably go have like an late lunch, early dinner at the Rainbow Drive-In. And that'll be just mostly rice and gravy, and they call it a loco moco. So I think that's what I'm leaning towards. So anyway, subscribe if you're interested in this stuff, and I'm gonna leave you with a little, kind of a time lapse of yesterday's workout, and basically I'm gonna clap right here. And it looks like I'm doing my pull-ups, squats. It looks kind of funny, but I've got push-ups. So 4 pull-ups, 15 squats, 25 push-ups, 40 sit-ups. Then I'm going to get up and I'm going to hang from the bar for 60 seconds. And towards the end, what I've been doing for the last 15 seconds or so is I've been raising my knees up to my chest several times. Then I do lunges, 15 of those each leg, and then I finish off with 15 dips. And boy, this looks pretty funny. But anyway, there you have it. I'm going downstairs now to get the bone broth into the microwave, drink the shake. This one doesn't have protein in it. It's just got egg, coconut, almond milk, unsweetened, and I threw some cocoa powder and some cinnamon and turmeric in there. Now I'm getting on the treadmill, and there you have it. That's pretty much what it consists of. Now I don't do the walk multiple times. I just do the walk once, but that set of body weight exercises, I do that 4 times a day, and I consume the shake, 1 cup of that after each workout session, and 1 cup of the bone broth after each workout session. So anyway, there you have it. I'll let this play out. You guys have a good one, and we'll see you in tomorrow's video. Bye.